Hey everybody, want to make a quick video about what's going on here in the state of Washington. We got some situations involving the COVID-19 unconstitutional laws and enforcements that they are doing. Meanwhile, while everybody's arguing online about the protesting and this and that, and you know, rightfully so, it's a discussion that we need to have. Meanwhile, there are serious situations going on here where people, black, white, brown, yellow, whatever color, are getting persecuted by their government simply because they stand for their own individual rights. A lot of people are completely unaware right now of how severe this situation actually is from state to state. So there's a situation in Olympia where a mom went to go have her baby. She tested, she was tested for COVID by her midwife. Her and her husband tested negative. They go to the hospital, they have the baby. The hospital wants her to do another test. The test comes back positive, so they want to test then the whole household. So they want to test the dad. The dad refuses the test. So the state basically takes possession of the baby, leaves the mother by herself. They remove the father from the hospital, I guess through law enforcement, and now they don't know what's going on with their baby. These people were completely self-quarantining, I guess, for the last 3 months because she had the mother had lupus. Anyways, you can go to People's Rights Washington. There's a website. There's a Facebook group. There's more details on all this. I strongly suggest that anybody who's concerned for civil liberties right now in the state of Washington and really abroad, that you look into some of these things and look into the information that this group and others are providing. I'm going to make this real brief and real quick. I'm going to leave a link to the Washington State website, which basically outlines how if you do not comply with their terms about the contact tracing and the other ways they're implementing COVID-19 testing, they will split up your family. They will make you sign forms, and they could send your kids off to detention centers if you refuse their testing. And that's the truth. A lot of people are not understanding. This is where we're at with this whole thing. This is mandatory type stuff. I know Inslee tried to double down on what he said here in the state of Washington, but if you look at the actual government websites and the forms and the language in it, there is no doubling down. It is completely mandatory. If they come to your house and they ask you to test for COVID-19 and you refuse the test, it's essentially as if you tested positive. Therefore, they want to test the whole household. If you do not allow them to test your children, to test everybody else in your house, and you take a stand against it, they will split up your family. They already have detention centers that are set up for children, that are set up for adults, and they will quarantine you by force. And that's where we're at right now. You know, a lot of people do not want to even take the test because they believe the test has way too many false positives. It's an inaccurate test because they actually have looked into these things. They also do not believe that the severity of this disease or this condition, COVID-19, is nothing like what has been told to us by the media and the CDC and other people. So we have a right as Americans, you know, according to the laws that are within the state constitution and the United States Constitution, is that if we don't want to take a test, if we don't want you swabbing us or swabbing our kids, guess what? We should have that right. But they're saying right now, apparently we do not. So they have pushed back people into a corner. So I'm sending this out as an alert that we need to wake up. We got to start coming together and start rallying together and fighting for any family or anybody who is put into this position. If you can go up to Olympia and stand with them until this baby is released out of state custody and given back to the mother and father, I strongly recommend it. Otherwise, we can make phone calls. We can call the hospital. We can continue to contact legislature, talk to your local sheriff's department, talk to your local health board. Call these places and tell them that this is not the way it should go here in America. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description to the government website. I strongly suggest you look through it, you read through the papers. There's ex parte papers in there. There are court orders that they have already readied in case somebody does not want to comply. They have an involuntary form that they want you to sign, which says that if you do not comply with this voluntary form, that they will force you into a detention center. So it's real, people. We got to wake up. We got to come together. We got to stand against this stuff and just not allow the smoke screen, which is this whole Black Lives Matter movement and all this other stuff that is complete and utter nonsense. Got us all focused on something that has nothing to do with people's rights, but it has everything to do with divide and conquer. So God bless you all. Look into these things and let's support this family and get that baby back with their parents.